The first responders training came out of calls that we were receiving where adults on the spectrum were being arrested or being put in hospitals because they were having a behavioral meltdown or nobody knew what to do with them. So we've developed a 4-hour curriculum and we have trained almost 400 first responders across Southern California to talk about the experience of autism and how to de-escalate it without taking them to jail or the hospital. And just as importantly, we're also training families and teens and adults because they need to know what their options are and where their resources are.
It's important for one reason, the safety of our community, especially for our special needs community. It's important for our officers to understand and get the advanced training and advanced understanding of when you deal with somebody who has special needs. The special needs is a large umbrella, right? And sometimes there's dual diagnosis. Our officers are trained professionals, but we're not medical professionals. We're not mental health clinicians. We are not experts in everything. It's important for officers to understand when they go arrive on scene so we can identify somebody who may be autistic. And not just autistic, what if they have Down syndrome? Or what if they have Asperger's? And I can go on and on and on, right? It's important that our officers understand that members that they meet, they may or may not have a special needs. And how do they get them to calm down? Although a portion of our job is about taking reports, making arrests, citing people for traffic violations, the biggest thing is community relationships.
This is really important work, and we've developed a sensory kit that we've given out as well to some of the officers and the agencies. We had a report from one of the agencies saying that they had a report of an individual having some mental health concerns at a grocery store. They went in, they were able to use some of the sensory kits and got the person out. No need for an arrest. Everybody was happy and went on with their lives. So I love those success stories. We don't always get to hear the success stories, but this is important work. It's the difference between somebody going to jail or not going to jail.
And if we can't meet the basic needs of somebody who may not be able to communicate the way that we communicate, somebody who may be nonverbal, how do we de-escalate that person when they're at their crisis point? That's what the advanced training class is really about. And really it helps us get to know them, and we hear from them directly because we have them come into the class and sit in front of officers. Officers ask them questions and they ask us questions. So it's a twofold.
Right now, our law enforcement training and first responder training has been so popular. I have 8 agencies waiting for training, and we're waiting for grant funding to be able to provide this training. Not only do we have to pay the speaker, we make sure we have adults on the spectrum come talk to the class and answer any questions. And then the sensory kits. So that all costs money. We want to do it right. Quality is really important to us, but we need grant funding or donations to help us get this done.
Law enforcement wants to be invited out. We want to have those hard conversations. We want to be able to meet the community where they're at, and we want to make sure that every single person in our communities, our counties, our cities are feeling welcome. They feel at ease and they're able to communicate with us, and they feel like they're secure and call 911 when they need help. That's the biggest thing, when they need help.